Let's talk, 'cause the thing is never doing it's more.
Today I'm going to talk about some books that have helped me enhance my psychic abilities and have given me a deeper connection to art and people around me. This is my first book. It is Grassroots Zen, and this was actually given to me by a stranger. This was really the first step of me manifesting things in my life. I remember telling my friend I was at school and I kept saying, I really want to read a book on meditation. I was in cosmetology school. I did hair a long time ago. And my first client that came in had a meditation book and he gave it to me. It's crazy. But this has actually helped me understand how to breathe in silence and really appreciate what silence can do for you. So along my early journey, I was victim to a lot of psychic attack. I had sleep paralysis a lot. I would attract pretty negative people or people that seemed like they were very spiritual, and then at the end of my relationship with these people, it would in turn be that they needed healing, and before I knew that I was a healer, I would attract people that needed to be healed, and I feel like that's very common for empaths. But this book helped me a lot. It's the Practical Psychic Self-Defense Handbook, and I like this one because it's not super dark. Because I shopped around for a bunch of practical psychic defense handbooks because I really needed to learn how to put up my energetic boundaries so that I wouldn't be attacked or preyed upon. But it seemed like a lot of the books I found were very dark, and I didn't even want to hold the book because it carried so much heavy energy. But this one's nice because it's pretty straightforward. You don't feel like you're holding a book of the dark arts. You feel like it's pretty light, and it's here to serve you and here to just simply look at dark and light as a balanced thing. It's not good or bad. It's just telling you if you don't want certain energies, this is what you do for it. It goes through the different attacks that you can have when you're sleeping, when you're awake. It goes through the kind of people that you can attract that attack you, be it psychic vampires or they call them negs, which is like a bad dark entity. Talk about possession and release. In my early journey, I talked about how I took Adderall in high school, and when I was consuming Adderall on a daily basis, being an empath, you really tune into some higher energies. I have journal entries of me channeling this dark spirit, and she was thanking me for bringing her back from the dead. And it really freaked me out because I wasn't aware of what I was writing about for the longest time. And then, years later, I look back and I realize I drew pictures of her. It was pretty clear that I was channeling her. And through this book, I realized that when you're on a heavy substance, you're so available for possession. And that was really what was going on here. She was almost possessing my body, which is a really scary thing to say. I was still in control, but at the time, I really don't remember much. And all I remember was staying up till 4 a.m, writing every night and feeling like I was talking to her. And I think that this is something that a lot of empaths need to be careful of, especially people that are very sensitive. Taking any sort of substance really, really opens you up to things that you might not be ready for. It's not good for anyone to be heavily doused in any sort of substance. You need balance, but especially highly sensitive people need to be careful because, at the time I was not ready. I didn't know what was happening to me. But anyways, this is a great book. Helped me a lot with psychic attack. Helped me to learn to put up my energetic boundaries, which led me to finding Reiki. Some of you know I am a Reiki master. I was trained by a wonderful woman who is extremely psychic. And so then it took me to this book. This book I did not read in my training. I had a friend that introduced this book to me, and I got the one for women, but there's one for men and women equally. It's called Energy Medicine for Women. It's by Donna Eden, and it's pretty cool. I'm a little overly creative, I guess, for all of these words. I need a little more. I mean, there's pictures, but I like things to be simplified. But it is a good book if you have the time to read it. There's a lot of good healing techniques and Reiki techniques in here. This one specifically helped me with when I go into crowds or when I go into public areas. I learned how to really put up a wall where no negativity or nothing could like break that. Almost like a wall of glass where I could see through it and I could throw energy out of it, but nothing could penetrate me. Great one if you want to study Reiki. This one is creative visualization. This was given me by another master at Reiki, which I work with. And this is a really cool book on, it's just manifesting techniques, and it's basic. I feel like it's kind of like a hypnosis book. It doesn't hypnotize you, but it really guides you through some cool creative visualizations where it teaches you to really start daydreaming with purpose here. Like whatever you want your life to be, you're going to focus all of your attention. This book is going to really train you to focus on it and focus on the emotional feeling of you being there so that you can so quickly shift into the same frequency of the thing that you want. So the time is elevated on how fast the process will go through. It basically talks about spiritual paradoxes, and it talks about how desire is the strongest force on earth, and when you desire something, it's so powerful because it shows you what you want, but at the same time, it shows you to instead flip it and daydream and visualize as if you already have it, and it goes through step by step on how to do that in your brain, which I feel like could be common sense to a lot of people, but some people really need to be steps through this process, which is cool. But this is cool, and this helps a lot. And I don't have the book to show you, but I'm sure many of you have heard of Think and Grow Rich. That one is a huge one for manifesting, and that one is super powerful. I actually gave it to a friend, so I don't have it right now. But Think and Grow Rich, I highly recommend that one. It was written by a very wealthy man, I think in like the 1800s. And it's about how to manifest money in your life, but you can use it towards anything, even spiritual connection. I have 2 shaman books. This one is The Shamanic Way of the Bee. And it's a really interesting book. It's a little more fiction than like self-help learning, but you gain a lot from it, and it's a really cool story. It's about this shaman man that basically had to endure a lot of pain through bees, and it's a trippy story. But what I got from it was some ancient techniques and learning how the bees connect us, and it's really cool. I'd read it. This is the last one I'm going to show you right now, The Shaman's Body. I just read this one, and I absolutely love it. Anyone who is interested in shamanic healing or practices, this one is so cool. One of the main things that I took from it was the practice and art of dreaming. And it talks about why dreaming is important, what it shows you, like what you need to know, your subconscious mind, how it's art, psychic healing, all that stuff. It's the coolest book. So those are all the books I'm going to show you today. Those are just silly little, those are mostly like spiritual shaman on the shaman Reiki path. I'll do another video on astrology books. I'll do another one on art books, and I'll do more, but this is a ramen Reiki shaman. It's the ramen book. Ha ha.
But I use my third eye. It's pretty clear. Everything that we've been told is a lie. They tell you not to dream.